In this video, how to get better at drawing really fast, we'll be talking about 7 tips to speed up your drawing progress really quickly. Coming up. The first tip is to draw every day. This is like the golden rule in art. In fact, this is like the golden rule in anything that you want to succeed in. You have to do it every day. And this is the best advice I can say that I've gotten when it comes to drawing. When you draw every day, you allow your hands to get familiar with drawing the lines. You also train your head and your brain to get used to calculating the shadows, to calculating how to put the lights. Drawing every day does not necessarily mean that you must create new drawings every single day. All it just means is that you can start a drawing on Monday and continue with it on Tuesday, continue with it on Wednesday, and you might not even finish it until 2 weeks. Just make sure that you are drawing something every day. You know, someone once told me that it is best to draw 6 hours every week. And I agree, that's totally fine. But then I actually thought he said 6 hours every day, but he said 6 hours every week. So since I thought it was 6 hours every day, I was drawing 6 hours every day. I must have guessed it by now. In the first day, I was already burned out. So you don't want to do too much. An hour every day is fine, and you should get results coming naturally. The second tip you want to keep in mind is patience. You see, they say patience is a virtue, and they don't say that for no reason. You need patience when you are drawing. You need patience for 2 main reasons. First, you need patience when working on a single artwork. When you draw an artwork, especially when you are drawing a realistic portrait, you don't expect that when you draw for 15 minutes, you would create a masterpiece. It doesn't work like that. Even the professionals, they need to spend at least about 8 hours to create with something that is at least manageable. Take your time when you are drawing. Have patience. Take breaks if you have to. You may even decide to divide the drawing into days. Don't rush the drawing. Be patient. The second area where you need patience is in your whole art journey as a whole. You don't expect that you will become an expert at drawing in less than 2 months. That's not possible. Well, it is true that some may become very good at drawing in a matter of a few months, but that is only the exception. It is not the norm. The normal thing is that it will take between a year, in fact, it will take years to become an expert. Don't expect that progress will come very fast. I would like you to take note of this, my drawing. It was drawn in November 2015. It is very bad. It is very bad. It is one of those drawings I kept hidden for no eyes to see. But now I want you to compare this with my drawing that was drawn in mid-2016. This is almost a year of progress now, and you can see that it's true that there's slight improvement, but there's not much improvement. It shows that it takes patience to actually get to a very good level. Now, I want you to compare this to a drawing that was drawn in August 2019. Looks good, huh? Yes, this is what I mean. It takes time. You must draw. This is like over 4 to 5 years now that I've been drawing. It takes time before the progress starts to come. Yours might not take years like I have, but don't expect it to come overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight. The third tip we'll be talking about is that you don't want to be afraid of making mistakes. You see, I was actually guilty of this, and I still am. But what is helping me overcome this of not being afraid of making mistakes is that I try to remember that everybody makes mistakes. No one is perfect. You see, those that you see on social media share mind-blowing artworks, they weren't born with that kind of skill. They had to practice. They had to own their skills. And while they practice, they surely made mistakes. So I try to remember that everyone makes mistakes. The professionals also, they have made mistakes, and they also still make mistakes. Making a mistake doesn't make you a failure. It just makes you realize that you're actually human. To err is human, they say, and those are one of the most truest words. Rather than beat yourself up because of you make a mistake, try to look at the things you got right. Try to appreciate your victories. But then, take note of your weaknesses, note them down, and try to work on them and improve on those weaknesses. The fourth tip, I think we're in number 4 now. Don't wait for $1 million art material. You see, I've heard many people say that they can't draw because they don't have the right materials. But I don't want you to think that way. Don't think that until you have that expensive art material that YouTuber told you to buy on Amazon, that you are not going to get any progress until you get that material. Don't think like that. Yes, if you have the money to spend, I will surely advise you spend these on buying quality expensive art materials. But if you don't have the money to spend, work with what you have at the moment. Don't sit down and brood because you don't have the required art materials, as they'll say. You see, these artworks, they were actually created with pencils that were not even up to a cent. Cheap pencils. If I can create this kind of artwork with cheap pencils when I was starting out, you can too. When you have enough money to spend on art materials, go ahead, buy those expensive art materials, the quality ones that were prescribed to you. But for now that you don't have enough, work with what is available. The fifth tip is that you should practice what you find hard to draw. You see, if you keep running away from what you don't know how to draw, you won't eventually learn how to draw them. So in a sense, what you have to do is you have to face your fears. Tackle the difficult things. For example, if you are finding it hard to draw the eyes, you can practice drawing more of the eyes alone. And that was what I did. I drew a lot of the eyes by themselves, and now the eyes are one of my most favorite features to draw. When it comes to the hair also, I actually hate drawing the hair. I really don't like when it comes to drawing the hair part. But when I was drawing the hair in this drawing, I did not like the way the hair came out. You might think it looks nice, but I just knew something was off. Something didn't seem right with this hair. So what did I do? I decided to continue to practice drawing more hair so that I can get better at drawing the hair. The sixth tip is to use contrast. You see this drawing on the screen now, I created it in mid-2018. But this drawing got a lot of love. People really liked it. And you know why? It is because of its add contrast. By contrast, what I mean is that you should get the shadows very dark, you should get the highlights very bright. When you keep this in mind, you'll be surprised at how your drawings will come out marvelous. You can use charcoal or a dark color pencil to create the shadows, or you can use a kneaded eraser or a white pencil to create the highlights. And now I saved the best for the last. The seventh tip is you don't want to compare yourself with other artists. If you get discouraged by that, you see, most people, they like to study other people's drawing so that they can learn something from that drawing that they're studying, and that is fine. But if looking at other artists' drawing will make you feel discouraged, or it will make you start to feel that the other artist is better than you, then it's best you stop comparing yourself with other artists. If you continue to look at their drawings and compare yourself with them, it will only hurt your progress. You aren't in any competition when it comes to drawing. In fact, the only person you should compete with is yourself. And I'm sure you must have heard this many times before. Your drawings doesn't have to be a grand masterpiece, or you don't have to really impress an audience by drawing. You draw because you enjoy it. Just make sure that you create the best that you can create. One bonus tip I would like to sneak up at the end is you want to learn and watch videos from artists that you respect. Like here on YouTube, you can watch videos that will give you drawing tips and mistakes that you can avoid. So what I want you to do now is to click the video on the screen now. It will help you to learn how to draw a realistic face. You will know the kind of mistakes you can avoid so that you can get better at drawing really fast. Watch that and I'll see you there.